Show your face. Show your face, please, with sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, apparently JusBlow been very vocal lately, and this time around he isn't holding back as he called out one of his affiliates and longtime friends, or should I say ex-friend, Memo600. Now every time I see one of the guys get into it with someone they was once cool with, all I can remember is Truth Teller when he said that since all the ops are either deceased or in jail, now it seems like all the guys done started beefing amongst each other. And that's because it seemed like every time you turn around now, you got someone who was once cool with each other, all in each other's music videos or even did songs together, suddenly beefing with each other out the blue. And for the kids coming up that glorify this lifestyle and think everybody is gang or whatever, please take heed, because them same guys you claim you'll ride and die for, these are the same guys who you may potentially get into it with one day and suddenly get asking yourself, was it all worth it? JusBlow is currently incarcerated and going back and forth with someone who these guys claim they would either take a life for or lose theirs for. These guys rep the same block, same gang, however they manage to still get into it with each other. So once again, sometimes you may just have to ask yourself, is it all worth it? Because you could either do that now before it's too late, or do it when you in somebody's prison fighting for your life and needing help from the guys who aren't trying to help you. Or worst case scenario, you can end up in the casket. So I say all that because today we have JusBlow, who seemed to randomly call out Memo600 for trying to push peace with the ops, and also stated that Memo never did nothing to anybody, and instead he says he was Memo's protection. Now in a sense, I get what JusBlow is saying, because I feel like he's having that moment where he's realizing that he may spend the rest of his life in there, God forbid, and he feel like, well, I'm in here because I was riding for the gang. Meanwhile, the gang is out there making peace with the same ops we was going against, and the reason I am in here. And I get it, but once again, sometimes guys come to the realization just a little bit too late. And you can't get mad at someone else who wants different out of their life because they're getting older and then lost a brother and friends to the street BS. Maybe Memo just smart enough to quit while he's ahead before he becomes just another one of them guys that's talking from a prison cell facing football numbers. So we're going to get into all that, and I want to hear what you guys think about it, because after JusBlow said what he said, he also deleted his stories, and Memo responded to them as well, and he deleted some too. So y'all hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm, and if you aren't subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. Now Memo600 posted a few posts to his Instagram story, and then he deleted them, and so did JusBlow. But it's a lot, so what I'll do is just read the initial post made by JusBlow that started everything, and then I'll read 2 or 3 posts made by Memo responding, and just let the others play out on the screen so you guys could pause and read whenever you want. Now JusBlow would take to his Instagram story, and he would say, quote, "Melvin Griffin is a effing goofy. I'm tired of biting my tongue and letting N-words portray ish they not. You never did ish but sent me phone money, OTF paid for my lawyer, you ain't did ish at all. I was your protection in the streets, I'm the stepper, don't forget." That was kind of crazy because he went from saying that Memo isn't like that to saying that he didn't pay for nothing but phone calls. So is Memo just really not like that, or are you saying that because he didn't pay for nothing and OTF paid for your lawyer? Right? I don't know. But anyway, in the next slide, he will also say, quote, "And I don't condone none of that pushing peace ish. My brother's dead and got life behind this ish. N-words need to push for their lawyer money on Steve. I'll start exposing N-words." Now keep in mind he did say N-words, which means I guess he's not just speaking to Memo, but in retrospect, he's talking about everybody else that's not condoning to the lawyer. But right now, he's single-handedly pointing out Memo for right now. Now, is he going to point out other guys that aren't doing anything? Who knows, right? Because we just seen C-Day22 actually call out Hookah, but then he kind of took it back and recanted his statements, saying that he was just in his feelings pretty much. So I don't know. Now Memo will respond by posting DMs between him and JusBlow, and he actually made some good points. So I'm gonna read it and 2 other responses Memo had to say in regards to JusBlow, then I'll just let the rest play. Now Memo will send a screenshot of FYBJ Main in the conversation he had with Lil Durk, and then in the message he would say, quote, "Now go say something to him. Why you D-riding on my sister? Your big homie just did the same ish behind me. You N-words need to kill y'all effing self. You post this N-word right after he did this ish, but all in my DM and comments talking about what the F I'm doing. Lame ass N-word." Then in the next slide, Memo would say, quote, "I don't care about nobody I wasn't with every day. OTF dropped you from their label. Your mama begged me not to tell you and be there for you on Steve. Smirk Manager sent me everything they did for you. He said you wasn't making no money in their label, so you gotta go. So go and put on your show. We know the real you. Post that pic with Smirk and Hookah, cause 22 got on their butt. Don't worry about it. Watch this. I'm not saying no more." Then in the next slide, Memo would say, quote, "I was booked. I never called nobody. Not one of my homies never checked on my mama family. Nobody. I don't owe nobody ish. Not $1 for a lawyer, commissary, bond, nothing. Did it all alone." Now check out the rest of the messages. Now, interesting enough, when it comes to what Memo said in that last post about being booked, nobody did anything for him, I can actually sit here and identify with that and relate myself because I went through the same thing. And let me tell y'all right now, when it comes to being incarcerated, jail is the place that you will definitely go and find out who's really there for you and who aren't. You know when they say out of sight, out of mind, that quote is so true. Because at the end of the day, when you're in front of people's faces, it's easier to acknowledge you. It's easy to be a friend, especially if you out here doing something for them and you're a benefit to them. But let's see how they act when they actually have to do something for you, or you have to depend or rely on them. Watch the tables turn. And like I said, jail is a place you will go and you will quickly find out who your friends really are and who they aren't. Trust me. Now, interesting enough, Squid 8 will post the exchange between the two, and you can see mostly everybody sided with Memo and feels like he has a point. On top of that, OTF Didi, who is affiliated with Lil Durk, liked the post, and I guess indicating that he's siding with JusBlow. As y'all know, him and Memo have had their share of words and fair exchanges on social media, but here's what a few users would say in the comments sided with Memo. One user would say, quote, "At some point in life, you have to grow up." Then another user would say, quote, "So he sent money for the phone and OTF sent money for the lawyer. What's the problem? OTF been established way longer than Memo. They better pay for your lawyer. What the F?" Then another user would say, quote, "So why he not mad at Dirk? Ain't Dirk trying to push peace as well?" Then another user will finally say, quote, "These dudes starting to sound like some bitter females in prison. All these innocent kids dying from stray bullets and ish, and he's not for pushing peace. At what age is he gonna grow up?" Even Dirk, who lost countless people, seemed kinda open to the idea. Now let me say this, y'all. What I think is happening is JusBlow just may be frustrated in there. And that can happen when you're in there and feel like certain people aren't doing what they should be doing to help you, or feel like they just aren't doing enough. And sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's just you feeling the way because you in there ain't got nothing but time to think about everything, and sometimes you can garner up misplaced frustration. Trust me, I've been through it. Now the part that puzzles me is Memo is actually right in what he's saying. You can't be mad about him pushing peace when just a couple of days ago FYB J-Main just leaked a phone conversation about pushing peace with Lil Durk. Now unless JusBlow knows something that we don't know and something's going on behind the scenes, and I don't know. But how can you justify totally ignoring Lil Durk trying to push peace and not mention him, but mention Memo about pushing peace too, when he did it first? So it's almost like you playing favoritism or scared to mention Durk due to him being the bag. And you know what's funny? This is a prime example of what we always talk about on this channel when I say that guys are just yes men and scared to hold guys accountable that are the bag. This is a prime example right here, because look at it, where Lil Durk just recently sat down or did a phone conversation with FYB J-Main about sitting down and pushing peace, and JusBlow skipped over all of that to mention Memo and him pushing peace. You know, like I said, unless he knows something behind the scenes, I don't know. But to not mention Durk and to go straight to Memo when he's the one that did it first is kind of crazy. And judging from the conversation between him and Memo, it seems like he's comparing who's doing what for him by saying that OTF and them got him a lawyer and all Memo did was pay for the phone a few times. He better be happy, right? For the guys that's ever been out there, man, and you've been in the system, you know that it's a blessing to have anybody do anything for you. Some guys go to jail and get straight forgotten about. No friends, no girls, no family, no nothing. You quickly realize in there that all you got is you. You're lucky to have somebody put money on that phone, and the phones are expensive, right? Some places is 10 cents a minute, other places is 15, 20 cents a minute. It's expensive. $100 go like water in there when it comes to the phone, right? So I don't know what JusBlow's intent with this was, but it seemed like he's being selective with his frustration. And if he's going to call out anybody about pushing peace, he should call out everybody that's pushing peace, and that's including Lil Durk. You know, don't single anybody out, because then that's going to make you look crazy. You know, right? But maybe I'm bugging. Any y'all jump in the comments and let me know what y'all think about this. What do you think about JusBlow saying Memo ain't do nothing and he disagrees with him pushing peace, but failed to mention Lil Durk pushing peace as well? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. And I'm out.